is he going to purify with that butterfly effect, right? There's so much things that's going to be thrown to you. There's the Musashi ultimate, there's the Guan Yu push, there's the unbridled offers coming in from Zhang Fei here. So much options, but so little ultimates here coming in from Woodland.
Exactly. Twisted Minds just has to stagger their skill usage, and then you're left in a very confusing time for the side of Fearless, right? Now, what do you choose? What do you decide? And that one decision will change the outcome, the plane of the fight for sure.
It will indeed, but this will be game number 1 between Twisted Minds and FEHK in a best of 2. This is the final BO2 of our round robin before we decide who goes on to that playoffs BO7.
Yes, the monster matchup between the farm laners. Who is going to get the initial growth they're looking for? Is it going to be Shanks? Is it going to be KK? Their lives are in the hands of their other team members. Let's see game number 1.
And starting off the game, we have already seen a mid lane start for the Arlie here. This pushed up the tempo, farming tempo for the Arlie to get that Doomsday as early as possible here. You can see rotations here, but top lane 1v1.
I think, okay, Snow actually gets out. So 90 does not even want to waste time, right? He wants to make sure that he gets the lane freeze and also make sure that he gets a level advantage against Snow.
I mean, that's a very good 1v1 here coming to the top side. 90 burns the sprint. Snow burns the flash onto the Mayin here. And towards the bottom side here, you can see domination already being arranged for the side of Twisted Mind Shanks, as he's got a lot of resource in towards his pockets.
And KK in a little bit of a risk here, and you can see, right, Twisted Minds, I like this lineup, and it's going to be like that all the way until that balance swings, and Fearless Esports needs to find that balance swing either in the clash lane or the mid lane. They need something here.
And the interesting matchup between Arlie and also the Shouyue. Early game, it goes in favor of the Arlie, but if KK, he gets to scale towards that mid game with no disturbance coming in from Twisted Minds, he can 3-tap the Arlie in that late game scenario.
For sure. I mean, at this point, is how long can he stay alive without being taken down, right? That probably is the true win condition here. As 90, once again, just being a nuisance to the side of Fearless Esports, which is exactly what he needs to be, and he is going to be, because the rotations are coming in. Twisted Minds, they're looking for the target. They get the Shattered Ice, and they do get a catch. It is going to be on Snow, and Snow should be first blood, giving it into the hands of 90 here, as Fearless Esports unable to handle that first rotation.
And this goes back to that 1v1 towards that level 1 here. Snow, no flash, unable to escape from that Razor Cavalry, gets sent to the depths of Twisted Minds' warm embrace here. First blood goes over to Twisted Minds as they have a 1000 goldie already on top of the board.
Yes, and they get the high lane rotation down as well, which means KK will not get enough space to farm. Shank should be able to secure this Horn-tail Beast once again, and it's not looking good. KK, he's just bleeding resources right now.
Bleeding resources, losing gold, but that is what a Shouyue has to face against an Arlie in towards that early game, right? So for this Shouyue, if he can farm until that Daybreaker mark, which is about 10th minute, 3 items, that could be huge here. And those wild rounds, those are hitting hard.
Yes, it is. The snipe is super important, right? KK so far has been pretty accurate with this, and you can see Shanks just want to make sure that he puts a little bit more pressure. The longer they can keep a cap on KK, the better chance they have in winning this late game.
Do agree with you, and that is very well said here. The timer is on the side of Twisted Minds. Every little engage, every little lead will have to be played to a top level perfection here. If not, you cannot afford for KK here. But look at engage coming in from Miku.
Yep, the setup, but Highlang with the windows here as well. This is not looking good. It's a secondary kill for the side of Twisted Minds, and Fearless Esports cannot find a breathing space.
The beautiful combination of the Princess Frost and Guan Yu combination here. The push into the Frigid Prison into the absolute doom for Miku on this Dune here. And that is a 2-level lead for Clean in that jungle against the Dune.
And still they're pressuring this Spike-tail Beast, which is so hard to deal with. There's no options, no answers. And now with 4 different members on the Tyrant at this 4-minute mark, it is really hard to contest. Unless a surprise steal comes in, not going to be happening on the side of Fearless Esports as they're looking to catch Miku. But he should have that wind slash. Will be able to make it out for now. No, butterfly effect, that's not enough. And with that, he falls. And this opens up the Zio Golem taken. And here comes the duel to the death. They get the flash onto the side of KK. Clean now, has to be really careful. They did try for the Maple Dance, did not manage to save, but Clean, because he's too far away, there is no cleanup.
No cleanup. Kills go over to the side of Twisted Minds. Buff goes over as well. Plus the Tyrant here. And right now, so much pressure on towards Clean, towards the bottom side here as we see. KK is forced to back off from this turret.
Yeah, there's no way they're getting so much free damage here, and this is no longer the case, but they do get a return kill onto 90, a nice consolation prize in a trade for the T1 at the bottom. So Fearless Esports, they need more of this, but they need a lot more still.
They indeed need a lot more still. They need to buy as much time as possible for KK Shoryuan to really find that 3-item power spike into the late game scenario here. Then they have a shot to really play these team fights. But so far, at 5 minutes mark, we're starting to see 2,000 gold lead go in favor of Twisted Minds already.
That's a lot, and 1,000 in that is actually in the hands of Shanks. He has a 1.1k lead against KK, and that's a very hard position to be in because the Doomsday is already available for Shanks, which means he does a ton of damage against Miku and Snow.
He will do a lot of damage. This is the early power spike that we keep praising about. You give her a good early game, but that's a snipe towards Hylang here. Hylang gets eliminated towards the mid lane here as we get a replay on how 90 actually falls towards the hands of both TL and also Snow.
So that's the value of the Snow, right? The Snow pick, the grab, and with that ACC now placed in a very uncomfortable situation. Will he make it out? The heals come through. It might not be enough. He actually jumps to his safety, and now it is his counterpart, Clean in the jungle, sacrificing himself. That was not the trade they were looking for.
Good catches so far for the side of FEHK, forces out ACC, gets a kill on towards Clean, and Hyland was nowhere to be seen defending that mid lane turret because of the snipe coming in from KK here. So good stuff. FEHK back onto the board.
Okay, but they have a lot more work to do. So they have recovered the gold, but right now they need to recover across the map. T1 in the mid, that's great. They get a little bit of fog of war onto the side of Twisted Minds. What more can they acquire from the map so far?
I think for FEHK, as long as they can stall the game, like we keep mentioning time and time again, it's already good for them, as long as it's not an avalanche of the lead coming in for Twisted Minds. If you're FEHK, fine, let's just take that and let's play the late game scenario that we are so good at.
Yes, KK right now, I think the next big item is probably the Shadow Reaper, right? The moment he gets the attack speed, he's going to be a true menace to the side of Twisted Minds. Right now, they're chasing onto 90, and he's not going to make it out. The catch comes in. Snow, beautiful work at the same time. Miku buying attention for the team, and this opens up the space for the damage. KK landing the shots, as well as Snow cleaning up for the side of Fearless Esports, and suddenly this lead is non-existent.
Non-existent is the keyword here, and KK getting engaged by the Musashi here, going dangerously low.
Yeah, we talked about the stacks. He gets the getaway as well, and now Clean is in the middle of 3. There is no escape. He gets taken down. Woodwind responsible for this one, and the T1 is wide open at the bottom.
So many W's for FEHK out of the last 3 minutes here. Mid tower, multiple kills here, and multiple defeats on towards Clean here right now. I gotta say, Snow has been so key in all these comeback plays.
And they're making the model come true, right? This is Fearless, and they are truly peerless at this point. A couple of plays, 3 extra kills, and now they have evened out that deficit that was huge moments ago.
You gotta be worried for the side of Twisted Minds here. The Shoryue threat that we keep talking about is starting to come online. If he can make that Daybreaker before 10 minutes, this Shoryue will go absolutely out of control under the protection of this Zhuangzi.
Yes, you're talking about it, right? 3 shots from KK, he will be able to just take out Shanks, right? So we'll wait for that to happen. For now, Twisted Minds, the true worry here is how do you make sure that Fearless Esports stay put? Because that butterfly effect now is actually kind of a difficult situation to deal with.
It indeed is, but we have to see here, what is the call here coming in from Twisted Minds? Is it to stall the game out? Is it to look for that big engage here? But there is a turning point that we can talk about. Potentially the Shadow Tyrant that's going to be spawned in the upcoming minute. That could be a turning point for both of these two teams, especially for Twisted Minds. They love to fight, they love to brawl. That could be a big gamble.
Okay, I know like I sound like a nagging mom, but at this point, look, Clean has tried to go onto KK many a times, has failed all the time. So what's the call here? Does he still continue on the KK?
I think it has to be, right? You have to allow ACC Clean and 90 to simultaneously threaten the backline, which is KK, then we might see the big engage on towards the backline, especially onto KK. Once KK falls, you will see FE not have sufficient damage to take down the likes of 90 and ACC.
Yeah, I agree. I think they need to burn out the ultimate from Woodwind, right? The moment you don't have the butterfly effect, then you really can put 90 at the peak of his strength. For now, Twisted Minds have not found the position to do so yet.
It's the stagger of the spells, right? First ultimate to bait out the butterfly effect from the Zhuangzi, second ultimate or flank coming in from other members to really cover the gap on the cooldown, right? But talking about gaps, Clean is nowhere near this Shadow Tyrant here. I don't think he can make it in time.
Yep, challenge has been issued. They don't get the freeze onto the side of Snow. This should be an easy engage for the side of Fearless Esports. Unless there is a stun coming in, they will not be able to get it. Oh, shutdown coming in. Beautiful, but they do get the Tyrant. Oh, double man knockup with the duel to the death. That is a big mark of success. And all the space they bought for Shanks has now come into true value because TL is left to his own devices and KK cannot defend against the 4 remaining members on the side of Twisted Minds.
This is the exact situation we talked about that will go in favor of Twisted Minds. The unbridled outburst baiting out the butterfly effect coming in from Woodwind, allowing 90 to sabotage that backline, single out Snow in the midst of the fight here, allowing Shanks to be untouched for the entire reason. But Shanks is killed down.
Yep, they get the shutdown, which is great. Snow trying to go for the catch, but Clean is back here. He does have his duel to the depth. This could be very uncanny for the side of Fearless Esports. They just need to make sure that they escape on the side of Twisted Minds that freeze, as the deterrents will make the job work.
But that's the problem here coming in for FBHK. That Shadow Tyrant, even though it went towards their pockets, the team fight just went in total favor of FEHK. And right now, they're looking over to this Shadow Overlord under the presence of Primal Bond here. But I think they can get it because Clean is nowhere near this objective.
And I think it is to their benefit. They can get the T2. I don't think it's a huge issue, right? 10 more seconds before the Primal Bond is going to be taken out. And with the with the Shadow Overlord, they can also clear that bottom wave, which means they can put additional pressure on this top side.
But this also explains one thing, right? You can see how far Twisted Mind was actually ahead. They lose Tyrant, they lose Overlord, and they're still ahead in the goal. That's how ahead Twisted Mind is for the entirety of the game thus far.
Hello, police. I would like to make a report for the gold, and here we go. Miku actually gets a nice knockup. They're pushing the members away. They want to force that early unbridled outburst from the side of ACC. Unsuccessful in doing so, and you get a couple of pokes coming from Shanks.
So far the game, I gotta say, is looking it could go to anyone's favor. It just comes down to that one team fight, and whoever gets that lead will really ride on the momentum for those late game pushes here. But with the Shadow Overlord, more of these tier 2s are going in favor of FBHK here. We need to see what's the call here coming in.
Yep, Miku falling a little bit low. He is caught in the middle of 4 now. He's going to be the first one to fall. Shanks has a lot of room on the back lines. Clean has found an opening. KK has been caught out, and Clean makes trouble for the back lines as it's a 3-on-1. Snow has to handle 3. It's not enough time because TL now is going to be the remaining member on the side of FE because Snow has been taken down. And now Twisted Minds, they have full control of the map.
How are they getting away with this? Twisted Minds are winning multiple team fights even under the pressure of all these overlords here. Their team fight power is top notch right now, and with this wave towards the bottom lane, they could potentially get this tier 3 for their taken.
I think it's a guarantee, right? Okay, Miku does arrive on time. Can they get the clear? There is backdoor protection, but TL might have to give his life. Thankfully, there is a save coming in from this side of his jungler. Miku manages to push them back away. T3 not secured, but this is a risky amount of health on the side of the bottom T3 for Fearless.
And 10 seconds will be the next refresh of this Shadow Tyrant here. I think both of these two teams, they would want to be able to contest for this. Whoever gets this has more damage power, has more team fight power, and that is what you need to win out these team fights. And once again, look towards Clean here. He's so far away from this objective. It will take time before he even reaches here.
Yep, they do give it a try. Not gonna be enough. They have handled Miku on the backline. She's not gonna survive this one for sure. It's a rampage for the side of Shanks. They have bought him space and clean on the backline. He's looking for the appropriate target, but KK is so far away. He gets that duo to the death onto the side of Snow. All of the defenses are dropping low. KK falling low as well. They have taken 2 members out from the side of Fearless. The map is not working in their favor just yet, but they're able to restore it. Once the dust has settled, it is still Twisted Minds in the lead.
This is severe deja vu that has been happening multiple times in this game. Objectives goes to FEHK, the fight goes to Twisted Minds, and it has happened 3 or 4 times already in this one game.
Yes, and once again, the pressure is gonna start building upon the base of Fearless Esports. T3s, it's no waves are staggered at this point. The 3 waves will hit at the same time.
Fortunately, at the very least, they still have the Shadow Tyrant here, and without Overlords, it will be hard for Twisted Minds to really go for the high ground push here. So, next objective is 10 seconds onto the Shadow Overlord here, and positioning-wise, it's looking pretty decent for Twisted Minds here, but they do not spot the flank here potentially coming in from Queen.
Okay, they get Hai Lang, that's a great start, but Clean, where is he? He is actually approaching from the backlines, and Fearless Esports say they don't care. They have spotted out where Clean is, and they might be going on the hunt. Snow's the first one to make that arrangement. They just want to push him back because the Shadow Overlord, like you mentioned, is the true objective here. But 90 on the backlines has been spotted out by the scouting device. Fearless Esports, can they get and secure this? Very important, they do get it. KK is the one at risk here. 90 looking for the opening, gets the pushback, gets the Razor Cavalry as well, but get away on the side of KK. All the space open up in the world. Anyone has to do the job. KK is still alive, gets a shutdown, but he himself has been taken out. Shanks is still alive. A god life for the side of Shanks, but he gets a second life, and this could very well be the turnaround they've been looking for. Shadow Overlord has been summoned on the bot side. Fearless, they survive, and there is a little bit of pressure alleviated.
Was still a very good backline flank here coming in from 90. He single-handedly forced out the butterfly effect from Woodwind, allowing Shanks to find that 1v1 angle on towards KK here. Without that flank, I gotta say, it could have been dangerous for Twisted Minds. That was a 4v5 from TM.
They also got Hai Lang right at the start. I think this is something that's really important, right? The fact that there is no counterplay available and the winner is here is going to be a big, massive win. And here they do secure that Crimson buff. But here comes 90. He is going to try and look for the pullback onto Miku, but it's not going to be available at this point of time. In fact, it is 90 who gets caught out. Can they lay the damage in? Where is KK? He is shooting, gets the life of 90 down. And here we go. This could be that moment that Fearless Esports have been waiting for. There is a map pressure on all 3 lanes. All they have to do is to play safe and start rushing down the map.
They can definitely plan for something right now. Another 4v5. No backline access here coming in for the side of 90 here. But look at Clean. He's still looking at the rear angles here, finding potentially KK here. And right opposite goes true.
Yep, Clean looking for an opening. That's the one we're waiting for. Clean has arrived. In the meantime, they have taken down Miku. This is opening for the side of Twisted Minds. They're very exposed on the side of Fearless Esports. KK, he needs to be safe. Gets taken, takes quite a bit of damage. And with that, duel to the death. Going to be committed onto Snow. They survive at this point. Twisted Minds, they don't have to over-aggress. The map needs to be fixed. The T3 at the top has been taken down. And Fearless, amidst all that chaos, they have gotten a small win for themselves.
All for themselves, but this does open up the Shadow Tyrant for Twisted Minds taken here. So much fighting around the objectives for both these 2 teams. None of them want to back off for any possible spaces that they have already conquered for their team.
Okay, this is what, 80 seconds of map advantage for the side of Twisted Minds only, because once you reset, there is a bleeding wound on the top side, right? Which means if FE plays this slowly, they naturally win the lanes.
I have to agree with you, especially if Tempest spawns towards the bottom side. That's the flip side here. And what are the stories that we see if Tempest Dragon is across the lane with Super Minions? Super Minions are super strong in that backdoor after 20 minutes here. So that is an added advantage here coming in from FE for that late game.
Okay, I'll tell you 2 groups of people that are clutching their chest right now. The first group is Twisted Minds, but the second group is Gen G, because they don't want FE to win this one. And FE, they're holding on. This is a very stable movement across the map, because there is about less than 90 seconds before the Tempest Dragon is going to spawn.
For FEHK, this is their potential chance, right? It is going into the late game favor of KK right now. Although it's 13k versus 18k, but look at Engage coming in from 90 here. Okay, it's pulled away, but you can see the goal discrepancy, right? KK is 13,000, Shanks is 18,000.
What? That's crazy. I mean, at this point, it really is about the amount of lives you can buy, right? The Sage's Sanctuary, already one has been burnt, and they do get that vision onto Miku right now. If Miku falls, then Fearless Esports are in a very vulnerable spot.
A Shadow Overlord does get secured for the side of Twisted Minds here. So, at the bare minimum, even if it's cross-side, as long as you have the Overlords, you still can settle the minion issue on towards the crossback here. So good pickup here coming in for South Twisted Minds. But we need to see what is the further setup here from both of these two teams, because Snow is going for that side lane attack.
Because they want to make it uneven, right? This is the benefit you were talking about. Now with that summoning of the Shadow Overlord, this is going to be a big important marker. Now the other thing is 90. 90 has been very good at making sure that his presence is known. He gets the catch, they get the T3 at the bottom as well. The save is not going to be enough. The knockup does come true so far from ACC. They need a little bit more, but Snow is on the back line. Caught out by 90 as well. Can they lay the damage in? All the space in the world is available for Shanks. All he has to do is to lay the damage in. They have taken out Highlang in the midst of the chaos as well. Clean gets his first life, but it's not enough hit points for the side of Twisted Minds. The base is open, but FE have won the team fight.
The late game potential that we're talking about, but look at Shanks, he single-handedly take down TL, making it a 3-4-2 exchange here. But for FE, they have the Clash name, they have the jungle, they have the marksman here. They can farm and walk towards this Tempest Dragon here. What can Shanks do in this exchange?
I mean, it's just Shanks and KK, right? Right now, this one is so difficult because Clean, he is not here for the next 16 seconds. It will take him at least 5 more seconds to get here as well. And this means FE wants to rush. The only save that was available would have been ACC, but he does not have his passive. He does not have the ultimate. Can they get the steal? That would be a miraculous steal. Not gonna happen. And FE now, this is their best chance of winning the game. It is now corresponding bleeds. Top side for the side of Twisted Minds and bottom for the side of Fearless Esports.
Fearless Esports, they're definitely in the driver's seat right now. They have Tempest, they have a late game Shoryuan, they have everything that they need to put an end, to punch that ticket to that playoff spot right now. This is up to the grabs for FEHK.
Okay, so Shanks has changed his item into the Sun Chaser. This is going to give him extra range. KK is still holding on to the Sun Pool, which is the tier 1 of the item itself. So we'll see. The farm laners will be responsible for dealing the damage. It really is about positioning.
And KK, as of this point, he has to wait for the second round of his Sage Sanctuary to be back up. For Clean, he has already expended 2 Sage Sanctuary here. And for those who don't know, once you use 2 Sage Sanctuary, which is a resurrection item, it is completely gone from the game here. So that is a bad news for Twisted Minds fans.
Alright, pressure is building. Fearless Esports, this time the aggressors. Can they get the damage in? Disruption coming in. At the same time, KK is just laying down a couple of shots onto ACC. Is he going to use his ultimate? Yes, he will finally get to use it, but the turrets are under pressure. T3 in the mid taken down as well. Fearless Esports, they will start grouping up. They're looking for the Baron base, and they have achieved it.
Tier 3s are all down as of this point right now. What can Twisted Minds do to defend this?
Oh, Snow, nice catch. Miku as well in the middle of 4. They want to buy some time. Miku has to give his life at the same point of time. KK is just laying the pain. ACC, no more ultimate to save the game. Fearless Esports, this is it. They will win game number 1.
Despite the avalanche of a goal lead coming in from Twisted Mind, they make sure it worked. And with that win, they potentially, or has confirmed to punch themselves